Hey Luca, how's it going? Yeah. Yeah. There's a little bit of dead air at the moment. I'm just kind of waiting for the chat to fill up a little bit. All right. Well, this is my first live stream, y'all, so y'all are gonna have to bear with me on it a little bit. Um, Somebody do me a favor and go ahead and share the link in the Discord chat, so I don't have to keep trying to bounce around. Share it out in the general chat also. Put it in swings, general, and fireside, please. Yeah, there's not much lag between what I do and what shows on the screen, so that'll work for me. I mean, it told me my connection was excellent, so I just gotta try to get through this best that I can. Um, we just went through the weekly close and the daily close, and I've been talking about uh, shorting. I've been shorting since right here. That was where my first short was, my first swing short. Um, Held it down, took profit right in this area here. Oh yeah, there is some lag, so I'm trying to see where. All right, well that'll give me time to look back over at the chat. Um, but anyway, I took my first swing short here, took some profit off of it here just in case. Actually, I took 50% profit off of it. Took a long up, and then I started laddering in another short in this area here because it's my honest belief that we are coming down. Just out of curiosity, so nothing's really changed for me at all. I still think that we're going to be coming down in the long run. Short run, with this daily close, with the VWAP and all that stuff, we might have over the next hour or so, we might still have a little pop up. It still might try. When we get to some of the lower charts, or I'll go ahead and turn on VWAP and we'll take a look at it. Hey, what's up, Crypt Dude? Nebula. Yeah, the first short over here was from like 97.85. Actually, I think I had shorted over here and held through it as it popped back up. And I was thinking about adding on to it in this area right here, but I didn't, and just kind of wrote it down. Until we clear some other areas, I don't know that I'm really going to go real heavy on the short. Um, However, this one is 22x. This one that I filled in here was 10x. As a matter of fact, if I little scalp short. But anyway, back to the screens and back to what I've been talking about in the screencast for the past week. And if the audio starts getting bad, do me a favor and let's just use 5. If y'all start having audio issues, because in a couple of the screencasts I did, or in my why am I doing this, I noticed that the audio was kind of bad. I don't have a mic yet. It's still just the laptop mic, so if it acts up, I need to know. But one thing that I've been looking at is on the daily. Um, I've been keeping a close eye on the VWAP on the daily, and the VWAP is still heading to the downside. That's another thing that's kind of letting me know that, hey, it might be time to go ahead and short this. Something else that I've noticed just recently over the past week when I'm really doing this and looking into the charts, besides the fact that the daily RSI is coming down, and once again, it depends on how you draw the lines. Now that little scalp short's just I think it's at max like 500 contracts. It's not anything big. I wasn't super confident in it. Um, that that particular one, I actually expect to take profit on it at 87. Um, we still had a lot of upside momentum or whatnot. But anyway, let's see. Turn on my drawing tools real quick, and then. But something I've noticed on VWAP is this 13 level. The 13 level seems like here on VWAP a good place to kind of look for it to turn around or start raising your antennas and say, hey. And it's more prevalent on some of the other time frames, but as you can see, I put in these yellow horizontal lines so that I could see what's going on. And that's been giving me, it's still a strategy I'm working on, but it seems to be a good way to kind of look at it and know, is price going to, even if a wave's going up, this wave's going up 13 level. Okay, yeah, it had its little cut in or whatever, but with this 13 level in the middle of a wave, you can know if price is going to reverse on you on a higher time frame. So I'll turn those back off. Let's go back out here to price action and other things I'm seeing. I've been counting this on the daily. I think even out to the weekly, if you look at it, which we still got time before the weekly close, just solely looking at marketcipher, this wave hasn't clipped yet. It's almost even with this, but that would still, to me, be an anchor, a trigger, and a trigger, and VWAP is coming down. So that's another reason why I'm holding these short positions. I know Crown is putting in his little trend line from here to here to here and counting this as a retest and a bounce, but it is possible that the trend's going from up here to over here. So drop down from the 12-hour. Once again, to me, this is another bearish sign. MACD is heading down. Money flow is heading down. Now, don't get caught out just because money flow is heading down. This gets me every single time. Well, not every time, but many times. If money flow hasn't came all the way down to the zero line, and it has a lot of green to it, especially if your higher time frames have a lot of green to it, when you get these little spikes off the edge of money flow, like it was coming down here, and you see when you start getting this little spike, you notice that price has risen back up. Those spikes will get you more than anything else. That's how I've gotten stopped out of more trades, is having my stop loss too tight and my leverage too high when the money flow was going against me. So I just try to build into some of the positions slowly. But once again, you've got your RSI is still cruising down. Your VWAP on this particular one is still cruising down. It's nowhere near the 13 line, and as you can see, in a couple cases on the 12-hour we have came past it, but it seems to be a good place for me to mediate where price is or isn't going to go. And I'll talk more about some of these trend lines here in a minute. Price is definitely tightening up. Drop down to the 6-hour. 6-hour, our momentum wave is coming down, and I've been saying that since this wave came down and we got in this area, that we're going to continue. I think we're going into an area of what I guess we can call it popcorn or something like that. Somebody come up with a name for it. Kind of reminds me of them old super sickles. But anyway, I think we're going into an area like this before it makes a decision whether or not it's going to go back up or it's going to come down. We double topped here on this RSI, just like back over here, which, as you can see over here, we double topped on it. Price came down. Right here, we have double topped on it, and it looks like price is going to be coming down. And if anybody's got some extremely bullish cases other than what I'm showing, kind of throw them out to me. Let me throw me something I ain't seeing. I mean, we might have a little bit of bullishness in some of the lower time frames, like, you know, the 30 minute or the 45 minute or something like that. Now, we here on the 6 hour, you've had a signal line cross. MACD's heading on the way down. Let's look at my VWAP 13 line. It's now this one might just decide it wants to turn around here in a little bit. You know, so I'm going to watch this one a little bit closer, which would also tell me that what I'm thinking about this over here, if this VWAP was to come down to this 13 or just beneath it and curve back up, then we're going to get we'll get a little bit of red, or it might build it back into a little bit of green. 3 hour. What do we got? The VWAP's kind of bouncing around the 13 line, so it could possibly turn around and come up just a little bit. However, I have no sign on my 3 hour MACD at all that that's going to happen just yet. Also, my RSI, you know, it's right at the 50 line. I expect that it'll at least get down here to this bullish control zone. I don't watch a lot of the printing of like USDT or any of that stuff. I mean, if it does print, yeah, that could be a bullish sign. But I still don't understand why people can't short with USDT also. Why does everybody automatically go, you know, when USDT prints, it's bullish? Why wouldn't you short with it also? Just kind of one of the questions that's always in the back of my head, and I've never heard an answer on it. Something else that I've got here on the 3 hour, I use marketcipher A with a couple of the ribbons, and I have them change color from red to green. And you can see here on the 3 hour, it's started to change red, and what will happen is then the second ribbon will always change color later than the first ribbon, which gives me a confirmation. Asian, what are you saying for GR? What is GR? I mean, I'll get down there. I'll get down to those in a minute. I've got the 45 minute on. I'd have to load the 30 minute on my screen. But once again, if you look at the formations, I know we're in the green, but money flow has been trending to the downside. Anchor, trigger, money flow coming down. And I'm just giving y'all an overview of some of the stuff that I'm seeing in the charts. So, trying to get through it real quick. I'll worry about configurations later. My favorite time frame, my 90 minute time frame. Oh, the golden rope on the 3 hour. Yeah. We'll go back through MAs here in a minute. I think we're right at the 200 on the 30 minute, because that's actually on my Bybit. That is how I set up. I thought this was 30 minutes. I've got them all. It's on my other Bybit. That's right. This is the 200 right here on my Bybit. I forgot on this one I had added all the MAs. This is a 21. or it's either 20 or 21, 50 or 55, 100. This is 50 or 55. I just do a green, yellow, orange, red, kind of like a stoplight thing to kind of know. Yeah, Luca. All an anchor and trigger is showing some weakness in the market. Okay, so whenever you have one wave that is smaller than the previous wave, it is considered to be an anchor. The big wave is considered to be an anchor. Let me pop the screen in. Um, Go back out here to the 3 hour for Luca. Okay, so over here on marketcipher, see how you have a big wave. This big wave was followed by a smaller wave, which shows you that momentum has decreased. Okay, so as opposed to, you had a big wave and a big wave, you had a big wave and then a small wave. Momentum has decreased, and if you look, as soon as that happened, off of your green dot, and you still had plenty of time. This is a 3 hour, so you had not 12 to 9 hours, and whenever you start seeing this area right here come up, boom, that's what that's basically what gave us all this rise here. Momentum was decreasing. Market cipher signaled you that momentum was decreasing. Your money flow in that same area was heading back towards the upside, so it was showing you some more weakness. Okay, um, so you can't blindly just go anchor trigger. You do have to kind of look at which direction the money flow through those periods are going also. But anyway, I'll go back out here to the 90 minute. Hopefully that helps you, Luca. But whenever you see people talk about an anchor and a trigger wave, that's what they're talking about. And even the drop in March, there was there was anchors and triggers everywhere that showed us that drop, our capitulation drop was coming. So whether or not you want to call it the COVID dump or whatnot, sound's gone. It still might have been because I was turned away from Mike. If, if everybody else is okay, let me let me take a break and grab a soda real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm gonna here pretty soon. Um, I don't want it clipping or anything, so I'm gonna try to turn this up. If it starts clipping on you, let me know if it gets too loud. Yeah, it might have been whenever I turned away from the microphone to look at the other laptop, and I think that's really what it was. I'll probably get like a headset or something like that. So, and by the way, thank you all for coming to the live stream. Being my first one, I'm trying to work my way through it. We'll get there here in a minute. We'll go to more discussion here in a minute. Um, 90 minute, my favorite time frame. For me, the 90 minutes just a combination of the 1 hour and the 2 hours, so I get two screens in one. Primarily, I just trade BTC, ETH, and all of my alts. I will more or less spot trade those, but I'm gonna trade those in larger time frames. I really On those, I really kind of use my ribbons to let me know what's going on. And whenever I start seeing my ribbons changing red on higher time frames, like back out here on the daily, let me hit my auto real quick. Let's get rid of this. Um, but like out here on the daily, you see how this ribbon went red? Um, that's a signal to me of overall weakness. You could also say that it's a DCA point, but had I was considering selling my alts right here because the second ribbon went red on me. So I was thinking about selling my alts, and then all of a sudden we got this little pump. If I start seeing some more weakness out here on the daily, I may go ahead and sell the alts, and I may change that strategy to where it's more playing it off the weekly, so I don't have to watch it as often. But as you can see, I mean, this is still a week's worth of time right here. So I really, when it comes to spot trading, I don't want to be jumping out a ton. I want it to be. I'll show Chunk. I'll show you those settings here in a minute. That's another reason why I want to do these live streams, is because if people want to try to look at some of this stuff, they can. I mean, there are some things that you got to watch out for, and I'll cover those things because they are a lagging indicator. They do lag way behind, but it is consistent, and you can see that, even on this pump right here on the daily, had you got in on this green ribbon right here and just rode this long up until it turned red without leverage or anything. I'm gonna turn my magnet off. Without leverage or anything, that would have been what, 30%. So you're not gonna get the very bottom, and you're not gonna get the very top. Are there ways to get a little more out of them? I'm sorry, and this we're out here on the daily, so this is from the Corona drop and whatnot. I was still thinking we were on a lower time frame, but who wouldn't? I mean, if you went 30%, 10x, that's 300. So on a daily, you could go a little higher leverage. You just had not actually. You need to go lower leverage because you have to give it a lot more room to breathe. Let me get rid of that, and let's take the drawing tools off. But anyway, it's ribbon. It's ribbon. Those two ribbons are ribbon. I believe it's ribbon 2 and ribbon 3. It might be ribbon 1 and ribbon 2. We'll go in and look at the settings in a minute. But let me drop down here to the 90 because I still want to finish up what I've been looking at and what I'm talking about. The MACD, on the MACD, the signal is still spread out a little bit. We may be in a situation where price has kind of topped out and it's done this move right here. Price topped out, and price is doing this move right here again, and is going to pop up again. It seems like it's done this several times. So you had your two market cipher B waves. You dropped underneath. You get 2 waves, and you drop underneath. Thank you, Chunk. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, 1, 3, and 9. Nine is my control ribbon. It's almost like a 21 EMA is what the 9 ribbon is, and that's why I kind of make it yellow. And there's little tricks that I've noticed over the past, and we'll go back to it in a little bit. But what you look for is for price to, like just bisect it all as much as possible. When it flattens out, it's not going to do anything for you. But when price just bisects it, it's a signal that there's some strength in whatever move that is. On my drawing tools, or on all my lines, and this chart's got a lot of lines on it. It's a lot of fib lines, things of that nature. But the way that I've been playing this, I didn't want to do that. and I talked about this in one of the streamcasts, was I took a trend line and I shot it from this top to this top, okay? And then I just extended the line right, okay? Which gave me a line. I did the same thing with this line, but I did it from the second top to the second top. And that gave me a zone right in here to know when to short. I used this line as my area for my stop loss to invalidate my short. But as you can see, even with this price drop, we came right back into this area. So I'm thinking that price is coming back down to somewhere in this area here. That's my whole thought. We're still in a consolidation. There's still a chance for this to break out, long term to the upside. Hey, how's it going, John? Thank you, man. Thank you. But that's kind of how I'm playing this. And this particular line right here, you can see is a trend line that is from March 19th to what, April 2nd? Or yeah, April 2nd. So I think that line is valid and pretty strong. You can see price kept bouncing off of it. And then we had this day where we got that mega pump and it just went through it. And prices respected it here and respected it here. So up here, this line is my invalidation of this consolidation to the upside, or not invalidation, but confirmation that we're going to continue the upside. If we break this particular line, this will let me know that we're probably going to continue to the downside. Hey, no problem. The more I dive into it, the more that I learn. I've only been in this market a little, right around a year. I've been trading. I really, as I put out my video, I really locked in and started trying to figure this stuff out back in November, December. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'd like to see 7K BTC by the end of June. And if you watch some other people out there, they're going to say we're going to go to the moon or it's all doom or whatever. I really play a lot off this 90-minute time frame and just take whatever the market will give me. Just like you saw, I still had ladders up there. It was a 10-position ladder, and 3 of the positions haven't filled. So I got 70% of the position that I wanted filled. And if the short comes down, I've got 70% in. I didn't get stopped out. And it's better than not having anything into the trade. So that's just kind of my thought as to where we're going and what we're doing. There's not much reason to drop down much lower than the 90, but something that I have noticed is, this line right here, it says range alert, which for me, if we break that line, we're definitely coming down. But this is how I set my alarms so that I can just go and walk away from the computer and do whatever, go watch TV. And my alarm will go off on my phone and the laptop's loud, and I just come in here and check and see what's going on, and either it's going my way and I move this alarm or it's not. And as you can see, I have a line down here, a horizontal line with an alarm on it, to let me know when we're getting close to my take profit area. And if it looks extremely bullish, or I'm sorry, extremely bearish when we get to my take profit area, when I'm in a short, then I may take less profit, or I may not take profit at all. But if you don't take your profits and you don't lock it in, then you don't get any gains. So you kind of have to find a fine balance on that. We turn off the drawings and we'll just look at a couple moving averages real quick. Overall, on the moving averages, everything is still pretty bullish, but like right here on the 45 minute, and I'll go ahead and work the other way. I'll go down here to the 22 minute. On the 22 minute, which is a combination of, say, the 15 and the 30, it's halfway between the two. We have already broken this red line right here is the 200 EMA. We have already broken the 200 EMA. We have broken the 200 simple. We have broken the 100 simple. So that's showing some signs of weakness that this thing may be coming down. On the 45 minute, we have broken the 100 simple, and we are right at the 200. Okay, so we'll kind of see what happens. Let's look at VWAP. We haven't looked at it in a while. Y'all might be monitoring, and I'm not. So that's the VWAP for marketcipher support and resistance. We're getting this push up since close, and I've noticed it. You too, Nebula. I appreciate you for showing up, man. But if you notice, every time that VWAP hits, there's a big, or every time there's a close and VWAP changes, there's always a big price movement. I don't try to guess which way it's going to go. I just wait till it settles in and does what it does. I'm not a scalper by any means. Let's see, where was that? Oh, 90 minute. Let's get rid of VWAP. On the 90 minute moving averages, we're just underneath the green 21 EMA. But like I said, on these, I do have it flipping red. Just so you can see how I have my marketcipher A set up. For me, I don't want the green, all the green diamonds. The red diamonds, to be honest with you, to me, aren't totally useful either. I do look for the red X's. I do look for the blood diamonds. I do look for yellow X's. But I'll throw my marketcipher A settings up here. On the inputs, that's the ribbons that I have turned on. And I wouldn't, until you get used to these ribbons, I would not just trade them blindly. They can fool you. Especially in an area like where we're at right now. If you're not used to them, they will give you some mixed signals. I use them more to know the trend. You know, crypto face and everybody says trend is your friend till the end. If both of my ribbons are green, then the trend is bullish. If both of my ribbons are red, then the trend is bearish. But the other caveat to that is that the yellow, if both of them are green and it's above the 9 or the yellow one, it's definitely bullish. If it's flipping in and out of the yellow like it has been here on the 90 minute, so if it's you see how price is flipping back and forth across the yellow, then it's really undecided. So as long as price is beneath the yellow, I'm gonna definitely take some shorts, but I need to be cautious because it's still somewhat undecided until you really start seeing it separate away from that. Thank you, man. Thank you. So this is, I'll go ahead and scroll down a little bit, but as you can see, I have all the other ribbons turned off, and then that's what I have down at the bottom. And for me, it gets rid of a lot of the noise of marketcipher A. And I just realized N8 is Nate. So that's kind of what I'm looking at as far as my overview of the market or whatever. Now it's just, we'll just be down to a BS session or whatnot. Does anybody got any questions about some of my settings or stuff that I use or do, or something crazy you saw on my chart, or how to do anything? Or I know I'm giving y'all some dead air, but there's dead air in the chat too. So let's see what the VPVR says on the time frames. I haven't looked at that in a while. Let's see. Get rid of that. Look at just the VPVR. That's a 3 hour time frame. On a 3 hour time frame, if you take, let's see, what is this? This is March. So you can see that the 88.48, since the Corona drop, we'll throw the Corona drop in it. We'll try to get as much time in it as possible. You use CP indicator for the CPR. I'm not familiar with the CPR indicator, but I'll take a look at it. When you see slow signal on MCB, where do you look to enter your trade, or do you just set a limit at your closest support and resistance? The You're talking about whenever I kind of see the VWAP, or whenever I see an anchor and a trigger. You got to take. That's the thing about marketcipher. Marketcipher gives you so many different signals. You could wait for confirmation of signal, or confirmation of signal, or confirmation of signal, um, or you could take your, like you said, take your nearest support and resistance and place a position. But that's why I've kind of found that doing a ladder and just trying to get as much in as possible in a given area, and then protect that area. Okay, on the anchor trigger, um, yeah, I'll cover that here in a minute, and I'll use like that last pump. I'll show you what I would do and how I would do it. And I do use, I don't know if any of y'all watch Kite's stream, but I do use that spreadsheet that he used to use religiously, to give me my, my position and my leverage and stuff like that. And maybe I'll pull that up here in a minute. But I am also modifying that spreadsheet so that it has examples on it. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you can enter way too early, but that's, if you enter too early, that's what your stop loss is for. Um, so anyway, here on the VPVR real quick, you can see that, and this is why I'm thinking, 8,700, or now looking at this, maybe 8,850. You can see that this line right here is point of control. You can see that there is a lot of resistance above us that we're popping down through. So we probably will have some downside. Like I said, I haven't looked at that in a while. On the daily, I want to say on the daily it's pretty low. 8802, or was it 8802 for a second? That's interesting. 8759 is the highest resistance, looking all the way back to 2019. So 90-minute, how would have I traded an anchor trigger? Actually, it wasn't 90-minute. Yeah. So here was an anchor wave and a trigger wave. Money flow was starting to come up. You see the trigger. Let's say you got in the trade somewhere over here. I probably would have put my stop loss somewhere in this area right here. So let's say you saw the trigger and you put your stop loss over here. That's a stop loss that's 2% away. Yeah, you're supposed to use HA candles. I just have gotten away from them. I'm with I set all my fibs on regular candles, and Heikinashi for me, I've got to get back to them. I got to get used to them. They're super useful. Um, they take away, that's another part of your trend identification. They take away a lot of the other noise and just show you the trend. Uh, However, when I'm looking at the fibs, because of the way that I drew my fibs, they don't necessarily come out and give me the information, because a Heikinashi candle, as opposed to being a candle that comes all the way up, from what I can tell, even if your price is here, the candle's still growing up here. Um, and, like right here, it's telling me my price label is at 97 or 94.77. When it's at, I know the line's down here, but if you get a really big candle, that label is so far off from where the line is, in my head, it messes with me a little bit. But I do like HA better than regular candles. It's a lot cleaner. Um, as far as the signals, let's see. That was at 55. Let's see if it really makes that much of a difference. I mean, the wave's still in the same place. I'd have I'd have to see if it really makes that huge of a difference. But once again, I try to do more day trades or swing trades. So whatever advantage that HA may give, um, on MCB, say on a lower time frame or scalping, I don't know that for me it makes that much of a difference. So y'all saw my ribbon settings. Did y'all have any questions about anything else, or? Oh, I'm ready for price to drop. Been waiting 3 days. They may. Crip dude, he's good at reading all the Heikinashi candles too. I mean, you can see. Oh, you're saying there's more money flow with the Heikinashi. Um, Let me turn off all this. So we'll stay out here on the 3 hour real quick. All right, I think this chart is on candles at all. There's a quick and easy way to figure that out. This chart is on Heikinashi, isn't it? Heikinashi, yeah. So yeah, the money flow there is on Heikinashi. So if I do this, put a, well, that was supposed to put a horizontal line right there. You do it the hard way. Oh, that's because I had them all turned off. Idiot. All right, so I put a horizontal line there. Let's see what happens when you flip back and forth between. Yeah. Okay, so this is money flow. Now watch it closely. Just looking at money flow. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and zoom it like this. So just looking at money flow, that's Heikinashi, that's regular. Heikinashi. I mean, I can see it moving a little bit, but the line's still, let's see, I think I'm looking at that peak right there. Yeah, see this peak right here, this peak right here on money flow. Watch this peak right here. That's Heikinashi. That's regular. It actually looks like it smooths out money flow so that it doesn't look so jagged. What's this one do? That one's pretty much the same. Let's look at this little peak here. That one pretty much stayed the same. So there definitely are some differences in the way that it looks. 3 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I slept till 6 p.m. today. Gotta get my sleep schedule back right. That's why it seems like people like me and Crypt Dude never sleep, is because we just don't sleep at the right times. Yeah. 45-minute gave us a little green dot down here at the bottom. RSI was pretty low. This is interesting. MACD tried to go up, got pushed down. Tried to go up, got pushed down. This is the exact reverse. This is the exact reverse of what was going on back over here. Whenever, or hold on, sorry, back through all of this, this price would get pushed up. I think 45 minutes too small to see it. But anyway, price, just like these waves, like the waves were here, price would come up and it would just barely come down. Price would pop up and just barely come down. So that's an interesting pattern on the MACD on the 45. Yeah, it does, Crypt Dude. Whenever I used to not have a bunch of the trend lines and things like that, there are some very recognizable patterns on Heikinashi, especially when you use the ribbons. Um, whenever I'll show you some. Actually, you might even be able to see it right here, because this one, in a bullish in a bullish pattern, a bullish repeating pattern, it would make what I called seahorses. So let me turn it on real quick, and you'll be able to see it. You start to see it there, but really, if you have the full thing of marketcipher on, okay, actually it's a little harder to see on this one. Let me go out to a higher time frame. Yeah, to me, this was like a little seahorse right here. If you look at if you look at the run, it's almost like little seahorses connected to each other. Like this is their little mouth, and this is their little tail back here. The tail of this one's connected to that one, but it's definitely you can definitely see waves, and you can see it in Hikanashi too. But it was just something that I always saw with the ribbons. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what are my settings. It's just ways to look at things. There's so many tools here that it can be overwhelming or confusing. Hell, I still get confused on my own stuff. Yeah, same here, man. I had gotten back good on mine and was getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning. And the problem was when I was getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning, I was still staying up till 4 a.m. the next morning. So it's not like it got any better. Um, what's the daily show? Volume's been coming down on the daily. That's another thing. I just don't think it's going up. Anybody else got? Oh, hey, there she is. I was wondering how long it was going to take you. Oh, um, no, while there's not a whole lot going on. Sometimes y'all hear me talk about, my fibs or using my fibs. Um, I call them mine because I'm one of the few that actually use them. But one of the fibs that I like to use is a trend based. Let me get rid of all drawing tools. Look at there. There's a clean chart. And you know what? While I do this, I'm going to do this one on Hikanashi. Um, that way I can uh, there you go. Even though it's been dropping beneath VWAP, it really hasn't gone anywhere. So we need an injection. We need an injection of negative monies or some people sell pressure. That's what we need. But there are two types of fibs, and back in December timeframe when I was searching around, I found something called trend-based fib or trend-based Fibonacci, which I'll cover that. I'm going to draw some of those on here. And for me, they seem to be more accurate, and I can leave them on the chart longer than a regular fib. Also, to me, it also takes out some of the guesswork of swing low or swing high, or when I should use this or when I should use that. A question came up about when to draw Fibonacci, and really and truly, if you want to get technical, super 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 technical about it, you can do a fib on any section of price action. Okay. um, a lot of people are only watching the fib, say, from which chart am I on? I'm on a Bybit chart. I don't know. I might have stuff on this one. Oh no, this was a totally clean chart. So that's that's the Coinbase chart. That's the Bitstamp chart. Yeah. So I'm going to use Bitstamp for this, because The difference, if you look at the Bitstamp chart, if I go to a monthly time frame, I've got the entire history of Bitcoin right there. Okay. Um, I'm sure there are some people that are running a fib from this swing low to this swing high, not to mention bots that are running a fib from this swing low to this swing high to determine what's going to happen to us in this area. So as far as which low and which high to pick, that's solely up to how you're trading or what time frame you're trading. So if for me, I trade the 90-minute time frame a lot, and that's probably going to be the fib that I live within. But I do have higher time frames fibs above me so that I can have an idea of what's going on, or to keep my eyes out for specific things. So on Fibonacci, that's my fib tool right there. And I want to say that I've got this one reversed, but anyway, you go from your high to your low. Let me go in here because I bet you that one's, if I remember right, it's reversed right now. When I did no, it was on regular. Okay, so if you're measuring price going up, you're going to measure on your fib. Yeah, they will crowd your view. That's why I went down to just those two ribbons that I use. But if you're in a trending market or whatever, it just looks like seahorses over and over again. I thought it was kind of cool, and it'll show you. I mean, when you see that pattern repeating over and over and over again, you know that you're in super bullish territory, and you'll see it even on lower time frames. If you were, let's say you were trading solely with just the ribbons and waiting for and you don't have to change colors green to white or green to red like I do. Even if you're watching them change from white to gray, if you see a bunch of seahorses and then you see it starting to change gray, that means it's time to get out. But anyway, you go from your swing high to your swing low if you're measuring an uptrend. If you're measuring a downtrend, then you would do just the opposite. You would go from your swing low to your swing high, and then that would show you your downward fibs. So let me get rid of those real quick. Now, another fib that I use is what's called a trend-based fib. And a trend-based fib actually uses the trend of the market to create the fib. And on these trend-based fibs, they are a 3-point fib. You would go from your high to your low and back to your high. And then that's going to give you targets based off the trend. And as you can see, whenever it dropped from 20K, it came down to the 0.886. And that's another reason why I have the 0.886 in fibs. If you look at the drop, this drop right here, down to the 3850, it came down to one of the fib levels. I don't think that was an arbitrary spot where price stopped. Now, why wouldn't I measure this to the upside? Well, I do. Once price action to me has established some sort of trend, I personally, and I don't normally do this on the monthly, but me personally, this is something I've noticed, is I can take a fib and do this. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong fib. That's still going downside. Let me get rid of that one. I overlay a fib on a fib. So this was from low, high to low. Now I can go from low to high, back to low, and now it's going to give me fib levels to the upside. So now I know the levels going up, and I know the levels going down. Now, I haven't done this on a monthly. I normally do this on a daily, and I've only done it using this price action right here, our most recent price action. But I'm curious whenever we go down in time. Look how price action has respected those fibs. And I'll just let it sit there until I get some comments. But our most recent price action down here on the 90-minute. And I don't necessarily look at it for the golden zone or the golden pocket or whatever. I mean, I do look at the 382. I do look at the 0.50. I do look at the 618. And I look for the 1.414 as a take profit area, depending on when I'm running the fib. But I got a chart just sitting up on the screen. I'm gonna let it sit there for a minute. It actually, I mean, I might switch back to Heikinashi. It actually came out pretty good on the Heikinashi chart. Even hmm. So this 236 is from the downtrending fib. Another thing that I'll do whenever I do these fibs, as opposed to leaving the no, I don't follow CME price as a leading price, but I do look at CME price. Um, the I do keep watch out for the CME gaps. What do they look like on the daily? Like that. Let's take in the 20 point. Let's take in all the price action from the past year. And I did that on a big time frame. Like I have charts. Um, let me load it. Let me load the one that I really watch a lot. Load chart layout. Uh, this is my macro fib chart right here. No, I never have. So this is on the 2-day chart. Once again, I normally run it on the 90-minute chart. But my downtrending fibs, I normally turn them red, and my uptrending fibs, I normally turn them green. And these two fibs right here from the 20.8K, or the 20K and the 13.8K. I think on this, I do have a heat map if I really wanted to use it. Let's see, where's it at? Yeah, there's a heat map. Let's drop down to a daily. But as for me, it's kind of hard to explain. You just really have to play with them. But as you can see on this green fib, okay, we have been trapped between. We stopped right at the 618. Now, here's eh, here's some hopium that's out there. If the target on the long term is the 1414, I expect price to eventually hit 56,000. And that's just based, and it's doing the fibs based off of the trends that we have already had. Now, the doom side of it, if you look, there's the 414 based off of price action that shows that we could go as low as 858. I mean, I have a lot of different charts, and I look at a lot of different things, just playing around with them. But you can see how price just respects these trend-based fibs, and it draws them. It draws them for you. And there's a if any of y'all hit me in Discord, if you want to see how to draw them or get a little tutorial on them, it's a little 15-minute clip or something like that. That'll show you that. That's where I had learned them from. And when I found the trend-based fibs, I mean, it was, to me, it was game changing. Um, you can even use them on a 5-minute chart to see what price is going to do. Hear all my alarms going off. So let's drop down here. Let's take a look real quick. All right, we're on a 5-minute chart. Let's take a fib retracement. Go from up. Not that fib. I don't want that fib. I want a trend based fib. I messed that all up. We don't know where the high is over here, so you can't use that area. You have to have an established low, high, and low. So let's take a look real quick. Look where, so the uptrend came on the 5-minute chart dead to the 1.272. Price, typically what I've noticed, will come to right in the center of the 1414 and the 1618. Okay, so we could potentially on the 5-minute chart see price go as high as 95.39. If it breaks the 1.618, obviously the uptrend will continue. But what I've noticed is that price will come to the center of this fib and then head in the other direction. And that's one way to know, is price going to continue in a direction or not. So let's do the second overlay, and you'll probably see some of these levels come in. So this was a high, This was a low, this was a high. I'm sorry. We want the high from back here somewhere. I'll just do it from here and see how it comes out. So when this, on the 5-minute chart, when this price drops, keep an eye out for 93.35. And I want to say in my templates, yeah. So that would be a downtrend. I didn't change this one around, I don't think. Use one color. That's a downtrending fib there. Okay. And this was an uptrending fib. Use one color. We'll make that one green so you can see the difference between the two. But once again, on here on this 5-minute chart, you can see how price stops at some of these fib levels. And right here you had a cluster of fibs together, and it seems to be a support and resistance area. So another thing I look for is clusters of fibs. If the green dot on the 90, that it would be hidden bullish divergence. I suck at divergences. But let's see. We'll figure it out together. 90-minute. Okay, this is a green skittle. Green dots, that's a green dot. This is a green skittle. They have two different meanings. A green dot signifies a possible bottom. It is not the bottom, but it signals a possible bottom. There's been many times if you just try to do these green dots, price will go up and it'll come down even lower and then confirm a divergence and then price reverse. A green skittle or a red skittle, all that a green or a red skittle is, and I'll make this screen bigger. We're going to raise this up so that you can see it. If you look where VWAP crosses the center line, that is where your skittles come in. So if you were looking at VWAP the way that I'm saying to look at VWAP, by having a line in here, and in whatever time frame that you're going to trade a lot or you're going to look at a lot, I would encourage you to go ahead and put some yellow horizontal lines on VWAP to see where it normally comes to. But all those skittles is where VWAP crosses the zero line. Right there, the green is right where it crossed up, and then it immediately crossed back down. So whether or not it confirms hidden bullish divergence or anything of that nature, I don't know. But that's all those dots is basically letting you know that. And right here, it's off a little bit, probably because of the time frame that I'm using. Might be clear on 1 hour, but let's go ahead and put it on HA since it was designed that way. You can see it. You can actually see it there. But if you see green dot, VWAP crossed up. Red dot, well, it was a little late on that one. VWAP had crossed down. I was on about this I'm lost on what you're asking me, John. Yeah, actually, the sound one, I was kind of mumbling, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out what Chunk was asking me. Um, I don't really see any hidden bullish divergence. So a hidden bullish divergence, you would measure from the bottom. Oh, are you talking about this little area right here? Is this green dot confirming hidden bullish divergence on these three candles on the 90-minute? Is that what you were trying to ask? While I'm waiting for him to answer, just to show you. Now, I'm not freaking out because price is going up using my ribbons, because this ribbon is still red. It's still, price is still a long ways away from this yellow ribbon. If this ribbon turns green, it might give me a little bit of a signal. And I want to thank all of y'all for staying as long as y'all have, being my first live stream and everything. Maybe in time I'll have music in the background or something. It's just how I look at it. Am I always right? No. Am I always wrong? No. That's the thing. Yeah, I don't know that you want to copy all of my trades. I'm just telling you how I look at it. And Tony, that's exactly what I want. That's what I want my live streams to be, is for, I want, I want to learn from y'all, but at the same time, maybe y'all can learn from me. And if we put all our heads, I really haven't seen. Anyway, let me finish that one thought. I want us all to learn together. Sometimes in the chat it gets confusing because there's 5 or 6 different conversations going on, but we can all, maybe while we're all looking at the same chart, and I'll change my chart to anything. I don't care. I'll open up a new chart and do something different. But we can figure out concepts or ideas or different tools, or try a different tool and see what, everybody's eyes see something different. But ultimately in trading, 50% of us are going to be right and 50% of us are going to be wrong. That's why the shorts versus longs are usually always so close. Uh, but yeah, this little, I don't know that I would look at that as bullish divergence, just those 3 candles. I mean, that's, if you were looking at it, so that's 90 minutes, 90, 180, you would have to look at it down on a lower chart. and it may be hidden bullish divergence for the short term, say down on the 10-minute chart. So what's the 10-minute? Let's look at the other indicators and see if there's hidden bullish divergence. Kind of going up. You had, let's see, hidden bullish. You would measure from the bottom, so you would have to have price action going from low to high, and you would have to have an indicator going from high to low. And I don't see that at all. As a matter of fact, let's see. Can I? I don't think I can pull it up on this stream. No, because Discord won't pop into this browser. I may be wrong, but I got a chart hanging right above my computer, and I'm trying to match it up, and I just don't see it. I just see continuance of price. But here's the other thing why I think, I mean, your money flow is getting ready to breach the zero line. Now we are getting some resistance on the 90-minute from the bearish control zone. And for anybody that wants this RSI, it's a free one. It's the one that Crown uses. It's called RSI and EMA. You have to type in RSI, the ampersand or and sign, EMA, and look for the pig, or look for the word pig. So RSI, not dollar sign, and sign, EMA, space. I think it was, yeah. You have to add that space. And then you'll see right here with reverse calculator pig. But I like it because, it tells you what RSI cross down means. For this RSI on the 90-minute to cross back to the downside, price has to come beneath 95.07. It's set up with 80 at the top, so I just kind of change the settings around so I know when we're above 70 and below 80, and I know what the 80, and I just put 80 RSI price up here because otherwise, whatever number you have, it'll be right on top of it. But you could possibly use that RSI for price targets on the time frame that you're trading. Because something else I've also noticed in this RSI is price will go, let me squeeze it together. It will go from the bearish control area to the bullish control area to the bearish control area to the bullish control area to the bearish control area it just bounces back and forth. That might be another way, to make your trading life easy. There's so many ways to trade stuff, and the best thing that you can do is find a strategy that works for you. Find an indicator that works for you, and trade that one strategy and that one indicator just like you're a robot. Try not to confuse yourself with a ton of different information. Find one strategy and trade that one strategy. If you are trying a new strategy, try it on testnet or try it with 10 contracts or 100 contracts on a separate account and just play around with it. Don't go all in on a new strategy at all, ever. Things that you see on my chart or me doing, if you want to try them out, but do not try them with your whole stack ever. Hey, is Vitality in here? I mean, there's a few people that I've showed the ribbon thing, and it has helped them out to kind of guide their trades or not get scared out of a trade. So, sometimes like this area right here, when the ribbon changed color and some people got in longs here, up here they may have been scared and jumped out of the trade and lost profit. And then you start flopping and groping in this area trying to figure out what to do. Now, if you just followed this ribbon, and as long as the ribbons were green and held the trade until you saw red, then you would have gotten much more out of the trade. And that's kind of how I look at and play the ribbons. And whenever I show somebody the ribbons, I tell them to kind of, to look at them. Let's see. Anything giving me crazy sign the price is going to go up? Yeah, it all depends on the time frame. Like if right here on the 6 hour, nope, no problem. My settings on marketcipher A. Oh, here's the inputs. And then over on style, there's the colors, which colors you use where. That's what I have for the bottom stuff. I turn off the yellow diamond, the blue triangle, turn off the plots background. These are the things that I find are important to me: a red X, a yellow X, a red diamond. And here's the thing about the red X. The red X is exactly where the ribbon number 1 changes red. Now, the other thing is on the color change of the ribbons. The red X in the first color change of ribbon number 1 is usually in line with your last red skittle on a wave, or it will be kind of halfway down as the wave's coming down. No problem, Nate. So let's say you're in a good run with those ribbons, where I would start to think or get scared out, because like I said, you will never get the absolute top or bottom with the ribbons. They are a lagging indicator. But if I was on this higher time frame like this 6 hour, as soon as I saw that ribbon number 1 change colors, that might be an area where I go ahead and jump out. Or let's say we're in a heavy bull market and it's still above this yellow 21. I might just go ahead and use that as a DCA spot. But you have to develop your own strategy using them. It's just something that whenever I was first trying to figure everything out, and all the indicators and everything was all confusing me. I was using those ribbons a lot on the 4 hour, taking longer swings, and I would have trades that on the 4 hour that were days long. And that was just using just ribbon number one. So I think that the ribbons are really, really, really good for if you want to swing trade. If you want to scalp, they're horrible. But I have found they work good on the 90-minute time frame also. I mean, let me turn off all my drawings. I'll leave that on. Let's go full screen on it. Hell, if you wanted to, watch this. You can even turn price action off and trade nothing but the ribbons if you wanted to, and not let price confuse you. But you can see long runs. This is on the 90-minute time frame. Let's say you just traded this ribbon. All that came back on. You went from there to there just following the ribbon. That's 31% over the course of 11 days. So something else, I don't know how this would work out, but I know everybody's been talking about getting Fireside Voice back up. Um, Maybe something that we can do is figure out a way to use Fireside Voice so people can talk and not have to chat or be right at a computer or something like that. And then we can use my screen for the live side of it. I think there's a way to screen share inside of Discord, because every time I turn on my screen sharing software, there's stuff on Discord that pops up too. I don't know, just ideas that I'm throwing out there. Where did I say price was going on that little 5 minute chart? Well, it broke out of it, so it's gonna keep going up. Well, it came back into it. That probably was too tight of an area to select it. You kind of got to get on a rhythm with them. Let's see, low high. Let's take a better look at it. this a love. Well, that's interesting. That's real interesting. Looking at it that way. Anyway, um, I'm just sitting here fooling around with stuff now. Has anybody got any other questions about anything? Or anybody got any suggestions? How long have we been doing this? An hour and 41 minutes already. Wow. For my inaugural live stream, once again, I appreciate all of y'all showing up. Hopefully, it's been somewhat successful. I'm sure that over time it will get much, much better. But like I've said in some of the other clips, and I don't know if anybody watched my kind of why am I doing this thing, but no, the last thing I did on any alts was, well, actually, let me clarify that. The last major thing I did on any alts, um, I'll answer that in a minute, Chunk. The last thing I did on any alts was at the drop when we were down in the 5K area. I loaded up a bunch of bags back there, and I've been kind of waiting for a price drop so that I could uh, buy some ADA. Well, good. ADA's back down to 7.5 or 7 cents. I've been waiting for a price drop, a significant price drop, so that I can get some more ADA or get ADA. I don't have any, and I'm kicking myself because I should have bought, at I might go ahead and just start buying some now and DCA down because there's some big things on the pictures on the horizon for ADA. Um, the most recent thing that uh, the most recent thing that I have done anything with is actually buy Dow. I went ahead uh, with I went ahead and made a purchase on some buy Dow because there's some loose affiliations with Binance and Binance Chain, and it ties into the BNB coin. And if you remember, yeah, thank you, Joel. If you remember when BNB coin came out, or I mean, when it just started getting big, Binance is just making big moves. So it's almost like buying something associated with Amazon. If you know somebody's affiliated with Amazon, then it probably has a promising future. And ByDao is affiliated with Binance, BNB Coin. It's also using Tron and Chainlink. Um, actually, matter of fact, let me pull up the ADA chart right now. You don't even have to do any TA on it. It is. We'll look at it on the daily. I mean, this right here, had we did it back here, it's like bam. But then I was even thinking right here at 5 cents, and it just did this. There's the synergy thing or whatever that is, where there's $500,000 worth of ADA being sold at 50% off. They just had an announcement about Shelly. You follow it a lot closer than I do, but it already broke. It already broke this resistance here. It looked like it tested that, But there isn't much more TA left to do on that. I mean, it just kind of got to get in where you fit in. You know, once it gets past 10 cent, it's gonna be gone. It's taken off. And yes, I should have bought some down here at 2 cent. You and I both feel that way. Um, let's see, Sean. As far as nightly or every other night, what I'm really thinking about doing, since Kite does Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm thinking about a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. That's really what I'm thinking about on live streams. I don't want to get too overwhelmed with it though, and it just be boring. Um, so might be once a week, might be twice a week. I'm just getting my feet wet with it. So, well, let's run the trend fibs on Theta real quick and see what it pops out on the daily. Ah, shit, I can't do it there. I don't know what the high is. You can't do that if you don't know what the high is. Um, low, high, low. Let's see. Let's go there. Yeah, see, it already cracked the 1618 right there, so it's kind of undiscovered territory. Now it may turn around and come back down, but usually whenever it breaks using these trend fibs, when it breaks the 1618, it's just going to take off. Let's see what a regular fib says. Regular fib, regular fib is, saying somewhere up in the 15 cent area. Yeah, I don't want to compete with Kite. I'm nowhere on Kite's level. Um, and I'll just leave it at that. I'm nowhere on Kite's level, and I don't want to compete with Kite. I respect Kite. Oh, here's another. While I'm doing this real quick, just for some of the newbies, if you don't know to do it, when you're setting your chart up, what am I looking for? Turn your wicks to 50%. Makes it a lot easier to see support and resistance areas, unless you want to use the wicks. Oh, how did that pop up there, right there? Oh, son of a bitch. Just do it this way then. I'm gonna move that one up, just kind of to get more price action. Yeah, I'm gonna move that up to there because that way it'll kind of get this block. You almost have to do this one. Um, I would say that you have to do this on the weekly with zones the way that Crown does it. Let's 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 look at it with some boxes. a rectangle, magnet off. Yeah, see, a zone kind of looks better to me for that. And then maybe like the zone right there or there. We'll do that. That looks better to me also. And then let's see, let's look for some other ones. I think that's gonna kind of be a little zone right there. Huh, look, lined right up with the 6.5. Yeah, everybody wants that $300 ETH. If Bitcoin drops, ETH is not going to make $300, and that's one of those ifs. Everything in crypto is ifs, ifs. And didn't ETH just? I know ETH 2.0 is coming, but didn't ETH just announce that it's delayed again? Also, could people be realizing that Bitcoin at the moment, and they're go ahead and taking their Bitcoin profits and throwing it over in alts? I don't know why they would do it up here, but that's the other thing. I've kind of just focused on, when it comes to alts, for me, it's just about acquiring the bags and hold on to them until we get a bull run. I mean, when you look at somebody like Crown, he's just talking about their crap charts, which, okay, if they're all crap charts, what do you have to lose? I just saw something recently. I think it was the June date, or I thought I saw something on a delay on it. But if you look at every news report, if you look at every news report that comes out, it's funny that all the news headlines are 50-50, just like the trade market. One analyst says it's going here, and one analyst says it's not going there. So you just kind of, in some cases, you have to do your TA and do the best that you possibly can. Yeah, it doesn't look like June is happening. I thought you said it does look like June is happening. It doesn't look like June is happening. So that's why I don't understand the pumps in ETH right now. Unless, since Bitcoin's so dead, like I said, people throwing money over in ETH and trying to get some percentage. I'll go over here and I'll look at it. ETH on the weekly. Well, well. Descending broadening wedge. Let's see how I want to look at this. Yeah, I'm going to go with that trend line right there. And if you notice, once again, I just let the trend line shoot. I just did 2 spots and find the 2 spots that are good that catches all the wicks. The trend line shot. And over here, let's just do those 2. That doesn't work, so don't know where the top's going to be on this yet. Use this top wick and see what happens. For right now, I would do like that. So with ETH, 240, 245-ish is kind of a we broke the trend type thing, and then you might see your 300 or your 360. Yeah, sometimes ETH does lead BTC. I have seen it in the past where it leads BTC. XRP is bringing up the rear, and Link just does its own thing. I mean, Link is getting ready to break out. So looking at that ETH, either it's going to break out or it's coming back down. Let's see what the gap looks like on CME. That was something. All right, so don't see. Well, there's a little bit of a gap right there. Oh, maybe not. There's a little wick on it. Let's go down to the 90-minute. Oh. May 31st. May 31st. Where are we at? 29. No gap on CME. So everything's all covered up. Let's see if we can find anything. Because sometimes when you come, you'll find something, but. Hey, what's the date on that? 28th. Bit of a gap right there, but that's on a 45-minute time frame. That's a really, really low time frame. I'd keep it in the back of my head, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think somebody asked me about, leading indicator of where price is going. It's hard to do that, and a lot of people think because CME price is higher, we're going up, but CME price typically is anywhere from $50 to $100 higher than spot price or regular price or exchange price, just depending on when you look at it. Or if in a downtrend, CME will have a $100 variance that way also. Come on, chart load. Auto. Oh, we did come up. Oh, that's Heikenhashi candles. Let's see where. Yeah, this is another thing. This is a case in point where it'll catch you out. Prices come down, price coming down, price coming down, and money flow gets this little itty bitty last gasp on it that is 50% of whatever the price movement was coming down. Or it'll happen the same. It'll happen in just the reverse. So for me, I'm in a short, so I always have to be cognizant that price can do this. But my stop losses are so far away. It's not even it's a non-issue for me. Like I still have laddered positions to catch all the way up there. See? But it's been 2 hours. I really didn't expect the live stream to go this long, and I appreciate everybody for staying as long as they have. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits here and figure out what it takes to upload this live stream, and just put it out there so that people can come back and review the information if they want to. Yeah, go eat your veggies. Thank you very much. It's I still can't tell if the video is lagging behind my voice or if my voice is ahead. Like you popped that great stream thing in real quick, and it was before even I think it was before I even said that I was going to cut it short. No, thank y'all. I mean, really, one of my inspirations for go ahead and doing this was the positive comments that I got just on the little screen captures that I was doing in the chat. But well, a year ago, there were thoughts in my head about possibly doing a channel, but trying to figure out what channel to do or what to do. Um, I think that there's a big need for somebody looking deeper into and honestly reviewing alts, not shilling alts, but honestly reviewing alts, and not from a technical, but from a fundamental standpoint. Technical wise, to be honest with you, DIY investing has that on lock, and he's good at it. He breaks down the time cycles and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's so hard to find one spot for all the information on altcoins. So if I could, one of my other things is if I can grow the channel big enough, um, maybe we can get some information on alts. Like I said, fundamentally. Because we all know that's where the money's going to be. But you can get just as fast as you can get 100% gains, you can get wrecked by 100% losses. So that's, on the pumps and dumps. So that's where you have to be real careful on. All right, y'all. Anybody else saying bye before I say bye? I'll kind of see it. Nate, thank you for participating. Try to see if I can scroll up on the chat. I don't know if my sound's going to cut out. Jewel, thank you. Chunk, you, thank you. Tony, Luca, appreciate you. That was just me kind of scrolling back in the chat for a little while. I know there's a bunch of you. There's 13 watching right now. Bear, whoever you are, thank you. Nebula, Amazing Asian, I really appreciate all of you. And like I said, I don't know when the next one will be. Once trolls and haters show up, you made it. Yeah, once I start establishing mods or whatever. But you know what? I look forward to it because